Figures from the Labor Department on jobs.
Applications for unemployment benefits rose last week, according to the Labor Department, but still remain historically low, despite efforts by the Federal Reserve to cool the economy and the job market in its fight against inflation. Jobless claims for last week came in at 198,000, a tick above expectations, but still remaining below the 200,000 threshold for the 10th straight week.
ABC's Mark Remillard.
Come to me now.
Hundreds gathered last night for a candlelight vigil in Nashville to mourn the 3 children and 3 adults killed in the Nashville school shooting. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden was in the crowd along with the city's mayor, John Cooper.
Nashville has had its worst today. Our heart is broken. Our city united as we mourn together.
Police say the shooter, Audrey Hale, was carrying several guns. You're listening to ABC News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Back to baseball. All 30 teams set to play on this opening day.
Major League Baseball is the world's oldest professional sports league, but there's a lot that's new this season, namely a clock. Not on the game, but on the amount of time between pitches. 15 seconds if no runners are on base, 20 seconds with runners on. Hitters are also on the clock. They must be in the batter's box, ready to go with 8 seconds on the clock. This is all intended to improve the pace of play, and it showed in spring training games. Their average time was down by more than 20 minutes compared to last year. Brian Clark, ABC News.
The jury could get the case today in the lawsuit over a celebrity ski slope collision.
After closing arguments today, jurors are expected to get the case. Gwyneth Paltrow's accuser, Terry Sanderson, says he was a victim, that she ran into him on the ski slopes in 2016 so hard that he has lifelong injuries and cognitive decline. Paltrow says that's false. He ran into her and is trying to take advantage of her celebrity status. On the witness stand on Wednesday, Sanderson was asked if he regrets suing Paltrow.
It's the pain of trying to sue a celebrity. It's just very difficult. I will tell everyone that.
He's seeking $300,000. Paltrow is countersuing him, claiming he's lying. Alex Stone, ABC News.
And ahead of summer, Google now says it will start offering extreme heat alerts on when heat waves are expected to start and end. This is ABC News.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
I'm Derek.
We're off to a chilly start this morning. Later on this afternoon, we'll warm up more than we did yesterday. The high temperature in the upper 60s to low 70s. It's mostly sunny, still comfortable humidity, nice to be outside. Tonight is mostly clear, not nearly as cold with the low in the upper 40s. Then we start to see the impact of a cold front approaching the area tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, windy with a few showers possible. Upper 60s to low 70s for the high temperatures. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
It is warming up nicely. It's already jumped up to 43. Last reporting I had was 37, and that's up to 43. The sun is shining. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. A great getting up morning here across the Fruited Plain, and we're glad you're spending your time with us right here at WCAB in Rutherford. It's 9:05.
It's time now for My Great America with Jim and Butch, a conversation about positive things about this great country. And now here are Jim and Butch.
And it's another great getting up morning here at the Foothills. Butch, good morning.
It is a great getting up morning. I like to enunciate, right? It's a great getting up morning.
It's a great getting up morning.
Oh, okay. That's the way we say it around
right
here.
It's getting up morning.
Getting up morning. And tomorrow, Jim, tomorrow is a very momentous day.
It'll be another great getting up morning in the morning.
Right. How do you, folks, it's My Great America with Jim and Butch. And, tomorrow is Jim Bishop's last day, WCAB. And I cannot put in my body or my spirit or soul what that must feel like, Jim.
I haven't accepted it yet either. I know it's going to be I have mixed emotions already. Mixed emotions that the day is finally here that I'm going to walk out of that building and turn my keys into somebody else.
It's not of that building. It's this building.
It's
the Blue Room. It's right here. It's out there, right?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Right.
When I can't get in the door anymore because I won't have a key, it's going to be a little different.
Now listen. If the new ownership doesn't give you a key, I'm going to talk to him. That's not. I know.
But it is a mixed emotion time.
But Jim, you have spent so many years helping the county navigate everything going on, and so many people depend on you. They rely on you. They love you. They care for you. And what's going to be like when you get up in the morning and say, I don't have to go?
I don't know. I'll have to wait and see what that. I was trying to think the other day. I was thinking about all this, and I thought, I ought to put a pen and figure out how many hours over these long 36 years, how many hours I've actually spent in this Blue Room. 3 hours generally, 5 days a week generally, a few days being off, but I wonder how many hours I would concentrate.
I'm just going to tell you this. Your younger brother, I'm going to figure that out.
All right.
Okay, I'll tell you how many hours it's been. It's been a lot of hours.
A lot of hours right here.
Through a lot of weather.
Yep. Generally worked about 12 hours a day most days.
Yeah.
Doing sales, administrative work, and attending meetings and those kind of things. But it's been a good journey. I've enjoyed the journey in most cases. There's been some down spots. There's been some sad times, and there's been some tragic things happening in the county that I've been covered that I didn't like. But it's part of the things that's happening going on right now that we don't know end result of. We're waiting on results of a story right now that's caused some alarm yesterday. But that's part of this business, and you dress up for it, you go for it, and you do what you have to do.
And Jim, through all the years, when you've been having to tell stories about all different kinds of things, what's anchored you? What's been the thing that's kept you anchored?
I don't know how to answer that question, really. I don't know how to answer that question. I just know there's a job to be done, and I know people are depending on correct answers as best I could give them. And I know they don't want any trivial stuff. They want to know the truth, but yet we have fun doing it. But I guess the anchor that I have is my faith in God, of course, and my background of being brought up in a Christian family and having a patriotic spirit, having served in the military. Patriotism means a lot to me, and all those things combined is sort of kept me focused on the main thing, and it's sort of helped me get through all of this.
Right. And what's going to happen in the Blue Room here?
Well, they'll continue to operate. I hope they don't change the color to it, but this is the Blue Room. They'll use this room from time to come. At some point, I don't know what the new folks may do. They may decide to relocate. They may decide this building is an old building, and it is. It's 57 years old, the building is. But it's stood the test of time. We've had, throughout storms and heavy winds, we've had technical problems with the towers, but this building has always stood. It's had a few leaks from the roof, but we've had those fixed, and it's been solid.
Jim, it sounds like you're talking about a building. It sounds like you're talking about yourself.
That's true.
Right?
Been through a lot of that, too.
Right. Well, you know what? I was asking in prayer. I said, God, what is a little gift I can give on this last My Great America with Jim and Butch for this week? And you know what I came up with?
No.
A coconut.
Oh, yeah.
A coconut, yes. And you're going to ask the question, why?
Why?
Okay, thank you for asking. Coconuts, Jim, are especially high in manganese, which is essential for bone health, and the metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins, and cholesterol. Coconut is a good source of fiber, which helps regulate healthy digestion, reduce LDL cholesterol and triglyceride levels, and strengthen the colon walls. Thank you for saying. It also can improve your endurance. Coconut meat contains large amounts of medium-chain fatty acids, MCFAs, a type of saturated fat that is much easier for the human body to digest than animal fats. It gives you better oral health. The MCFAs found in coconut meat also contain antimicrobial properties, and it helps you lose weight. Jim, I'm giving you, before you leave tomorrow, on this My Great America, I'm giving you this gently protected coconut.
Well, thank you. Coconut happens to be one of my favorite food. I love coconut.
You do?
I love it surrounded with chocolate. I love it surrounded with icing, like a coconut cake, and mounds and almond joys, and those.
Now, I'm going to ask you this question: has anybody ever given you a coconut before?
No one has never given me a coconut.
Okay,
You're the first.
I'm grateful for that opportunity. It's wrapped. It's wrapped. It's a coconut, and it's a reminder. By the way, God, I've said this often. God could have made one kind of fruit, one kind of vegetable, one color or two colors, but God made an incredible, beautiful world, Jim, and in the panoply of what God made, He made coconuts, and that's
As you see the sunrise and the sunset about every day on clear weather, we see what a great artist our Father really was.
Right. And in Scripture, in the Psalms, the heavens declare the glory of God, the skies declare the work of His hands. Now, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
May I do that?
Sure. As if you needed my.
You're the boss. You're the boss. Now, is your office cleaned out?
No, it's not cleaned out yet. I'm working toward that. I've taken away 4 or 5 boxes of stuff. I've still got 25 more boxes probably of stuff that I've got to take away, clear out of my office and take.
What's your plan?
About to clear my office.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably do that this weekend. Today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Maybe come up Saturday and bring my truck up and load some boxes and take them home and clutter my garage up with it.
Now, if people ask the question, "What's in your office?" what would you say?
A lot of memories, plaques, pictures, and a lot of cards and letters from people in my files. A lot of ideas of cells, how to write the copy, and my computer is there, and pictures of my family, things like that. I've built memories over the years. Awards have been given to me, and which I take pride in, and not a selfish pride, but I take pride in the fact that people have honored me with special recognition, and I treasure those. And I put a plaque on my wall to show that, and I'll take those down and take them home, and hopefully help me find a place at home to put them.
Well, I'm just going to tell you this as your friend. I really believe that Isothermal Community College needs to have a room or something to put all your stuff in, and I'm going to work on that. You know why? Well, because you are a living representation of broadcasting in this county. You are, Jim. You are.
I don't know if they would go for that.
You know what I love? I love when people say you can't do it. That motivates me a lot. I think I'm just going to say this on the air. By the way, write in to Isothermal. Write in to Isothermal, the president and anybody else that you know there, saying there ought to be a Jim Bishop WCAB collections area. Jim, I'm telling you, excuse us for a minute, folks. We're going to have a conversation here. You need to do that. That needs to happen. That needs to happen because nobody in the history of this county has had a longer standing engagement with our community than you. Yeah. All right. So your younger brother, I'm going to work hard to make this happen. It's going to be in my life.
You like to take on the challenge, don't you?
I'm sorry?
You like to take on the challenge.
I like to take on challenges that are God's challenges. And Jim, you have touched so many people in so many places in this county. Yeah. Long after, if Jesus tarries, we don't know when he's coming back, but if Jesus tarries, long after you're gone, if I'm still here, I'm going to make sure people know, hey, that guy Jim Bishop, he got up every morning for 36 plus years, and that's incredible. Now, do you have coffee at your house before you come here?
No, I don't. I usually make a pot when I get here. Sometimes I'll stop by McDonald's to pick up one of those senior cups to drink before I get mine made.
Okay, he said senior. He said senior.
Senior coffees. Then I make mine. I drink it through the morning. I drink about almost a pot, about 3 or 4 cups.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Is that to stay awake or?
Well, it helps, but I just like to taste the coffee, and it gives me energy. And I read the other day where coffee is good for you.
It is good for you.
Black coffee
it actually has medicinal benefits. So, Jim, as you look at the county, can you give us a little prognostication about what you think is ahead? I mean, you've been around here a long time. So what do you see in the days ahead?
Well, I had the privilege of speaking to the senior center the other day and reflecting on past 30, 35 years. And we talked about how things used to be, and when NAFTA went into effect, all the companies we lost went south, and how things began after that began to come back. And during that process, a lot of entrepreneurs stepped up, and a lot of people who became their own bosses. They started their own business that were I don't want to say confined, but they were confined with 8-hour jobs. And now they had to do something. Their creativity came in play, and they became entrepreneurs. They started their own business. Now, many of them have several employees. And I saw that happening. I see that happening, going to happen right now, even though we're going through another stage of plants closing, businesses closing. But I think that's going to happen again because we're courageous individuals here in this county. People are brave and bold. There are some who love to spin that poor little pitiful me song, but more of us believe in, hey, that didn't work out, let's try something else. And I think we're still going to discover a whole busload of entrepreneurs in this county that's going to, I believe I can make this work. They'll start their own business. And I see that happening already. And if I may, I don't mean to give a plug, but my wife Faye is over the small business there, and she's seen folks coming forward and said, I want to start my own business, and this is what I have in mind. And many times it's not your routine kind of job. It's something that in their mind they can create or they can make, and they can make it, or they can sell it. So that's the kind of thing I think is going to happen in the county. And we're going to see businesses come back. We're going to see plants come back, I think. It's another lull in our economy.
Jim, God gave you a voice. When did you know in your life that you had a voice, that you were called to speak?
Well, I don't know. It's a good question. I remember years ago when I was, I think I was teaching school at that time, and I was a member of the Forest City JCs. And the JCs was doing a promotion, some kind of fundraiser, and they wanted somebody to go on WBBO at that time and do an announcement, radio announcement. So I went and did the announcement for it. And the engineer at that time said, man, you ought to get into radio. You got a good voice. I thought, what? And I had no interest at that time. But then it became more and more involved. I think I would like that. In college, I had an opportunity to study broadcasting and work at the college campus radio station, and realized I like to be able to inform people, talk with people, entertain people, and discuss things with people, and that led one to another. So various locations around the country, even being in the military, in the Air Force, had an opportunity to work stationed in Warner Robins, Georgia.
Okay.
On a part-time basis.
Yeah.
And worked there. And while in Alaska, worked at
Elmendorf.
Yep, Elmendorf. There in Anchorage, they had a station. They had an AM, FM, and a TV station. And they also had MUSAC. People don't know what MUSAC is anymore, but they control all of that. So they gave me an opportunity to work in the newsroom and write some news stories and do a few on-camera commercials and did a little shift on AM, and then they switched me over to FM. FM was good, soft, easy music. I really liked that part. So I thought, it might be where I want to go. So.
Now, is Faye, and when you leave the station, is Faye gonna be the person that you get up and say it's a great getting up morning?
Probably she gets up early. She gets up about time, same time I do in the morning, and she has her coffee, has her devotions, and she sits around and plays with the dog a while, and she gets ready to go to work. She goes to work at 8 o'clock, I believe, and so I'll have that time to spend with her. The only time we have together now in the mornings is Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings, and unless something comes up, we'd have breakfast together on Saturday mornings and talk and drink coffee together and see what else is out there.
I'm gonna make this promise publicly, okay?
Okay.
If you ever need to just call somebody and say it's a great getting up morning, and you want to talk about what's going on in the news or whatever, you got my phone number.
I do.
Jim.
I do.
Jim. Yeah. And you have been so precious in the time that I've known you, and God is a God of change, and we all know changes are inevitable, and this is a big change. What are you going to do next?
Well, I don't know exactly. There's some things I want to pick up, catch up on my reading. I've got several books I got going at one time, and I don't have time to finish a lot of them. I'm a frustrated artist. I love to paint oil paintings.
You do?
And I've got some paintings I want to do.
You're going to paint?
Yeah, I've got some.
That is,
got some
Jim. Okay, folks, you're hearing it. Maybe not first here on My Great America with Jim and Butch, but he's a painter, like George Bush, by the way.
Yes.
George Bush is an incredible painter.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not as good as he is, but
don't disparage the gift.
Won a few ribbons over the years in first place, second place, but I do enjoy painting oils primarily. And I got a few pictures in my mind I want to paint, and I've got one partially finished. I haven't got to yet, so I want to do some of that. I want to read, want to do some things around the house that needs working on. I want to play a little golf, and I want to do a little traveling. And when Faye retires, I was wait. She's going to wait and see how much I enjoy retirement before she retires.
Okay. Okay. And of course, Flores Baptist Church has a rich history of missions trips and all of that. So you may be involved in that.
Involved in some of that. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's good. Yeah. When you were talking about painting, by the way, it reminded me. I have not thought about this recently. I don't remember the last time I thought about it. When I lived in Laplace, Louisiana, near Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
Right. My dad was a SCAB pilot for Southern Airways. He left American Airlines, and the union people used to call the house. I was 5, and they would say terrible things. We had bricks through the window and all that. The whole story there. I'm putting that in my book. But when you were talking about paintings, we had a neighbor right next door, and the neighbor next door did incredible chalk portraits. Mm-hmm. Beautiful chalk portraits. And one time, when my dad and mom were in meeting with them, and my sister Becky, who, she's gone now, but she was with me, my older sister, and I picked up a piece of chalk and thought, the lips on that portrait need to be bigger. Jim, I did what a 5-year-old boy would do, and when the woman came in to see us and saw what I'd done, something she'd been working on for weeks, the screech and the howl and the screams were incredible, and I got disciplined pretty severely. So that's the first time I think I've remembered that in a lot of years.
You'll put that in your book?
I'm sorry?
You going to put that in your book?
Absolutely. I'm going to put that. It might be under the chapter of things I regret. Yeah. But I remember I made the lips very big on a portrait she had been working on with chalk.
Was she able to correct it?
I don't know the answer to that question, Jim. Painfully, I think probably not. Yeah, it was bad.
Speaking of chalk, I used to know some folks that did a lot of chalk art, religiously speaking.
Yeah.
And they'd play some Christian music or tell a Bible story while they were drawing with chalk. And
Sure.
Always inspiring. A man used to pastor a local church and did some of that, so I've always been fascinated by that.
You know, I'm fascinated by the gifts that God gives people, Jim, and your gift is so clear. You know, I was reading here recently, and folks know that I love history. I was reading about truth. John 14:6 says, "No one comes to the Father except through me." Simon Greenleaf, 1783 to 1853, was the Royal Professor of Law at Harvard and considered one of the greatest legal minds in Western history. In his testimony of the evangelist, Greenleaf stated, I mean, this is the guy who started Harvard Law School. He said, "The religion of Jesus Christ aims at nothing less than the utter overthrow of all other systems of religion in the world, denouncing them as inadequate to the wants of man, false in their foundations, dangerous in their tendency. It is not only the soliciting of the grave attention of all to whom its doctrines are presented, but it demands their cordial belief as a matter of vital concernment. These are no ordinary claims from Jesus, and it seems hardly possible for a rational being to regard them with even a subdued interest, much less to treat them with mere indifference and contempt. If not true, they are little else than the pretensions of a bold imposture, Jesus, which, not satisfied with having already enslaved millions of the human race, seeks to continue its encroachments upon human liberty until all nations shall be subjugated under its iron rule. But if they are well-founded and just, they can be no less than the highest requirements from heaven, addressed by the voice of God to the reason and understanding of man concerning things deeply affecting the relations to his sovereign and essential to the formation of his character and, of course, to his destiny, both for this life and the life to come.
That's good.
That's the founder of Harvard Law School.
Good.
How have we wandered away, Jim?
Oh, yes.
From the principles and the precepts that were so clearly there. You know, we're going to keep doing our program, but in the midst of it, I just want to let you know something. If you need help boxing stuff, you know who to call.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's My Great America with Jim and Butch, and this is Jim's next to the last day.
The last day. Tomorrow will be my last official day on duty, unless something changes.
All right. God bless you, my
bless
brother.
America. Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Thank you for joining us for My Great America with Jim and Butch. Join us each Tuesday and Thursday morning at 9:05 for this enlightening program on 100.9 FM and 590 AM. It's My Great America with Jim and Butch.
We're off to a chilly start this morning. Later on this afternoon, we'll warm up more than we did yesterday. The high temperature in the upper 60s to low 70s. It's mostly sunny, still comfortable humidity, nice to be outside. Tonight is mostly clear, not nearly as cold.